I'm not content with the content. I want more. I'm not content with the content. I want more.
Welcome to Hooligan Radio, the podcast that covers movies, video games, true crime, and cryptids all in one. I have my expert on everything creepy, Zach. How's it going?
I'm doing good on this glorious Monday. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm the guy for everything movies, Josh, and we also have the guy for everything in video games, Isaiah. How's it going?
It's going all right. Coming to you from the interwebs. It's a good old time. I wish it would stop snowing, but lifestyle.
Yeah, so this is our first episode now that we're weekly. Technically, last week I guess was our first episode, but really this is our first episode of only going 1 week without a break. So it should be interesting. Let's see. Let's jump right into to some news if you guys don't mind.
I would appreciate some news. What's going on over there in the movieverse?
Well, the first thing, which was kind of a surprise to me, IMDB, which is actually owned by Amazon, has released a free streaming service called IMDB Freedive. Basically, this streaming service, as of right now, only works. You can only watch it on the IMDB Freedive website, or if you have any type of Amazon device. So if you have like Amazon Prime on your TV, smart TV, or a Fire Stick, anything like that, you can watch it. But you can't watch it like on your phone or PlayStation or anything like that yet. But it's basically just like any other streaming service, has free movies, TV shows, but you don't even need to make an account to watch it. You can make an account, but you can just go to the website and start watching things for free. The catch is that it's supported by ads. So there are ads. I'm not sure if it's throughout the movies and TV shows or just before and after. I watched a little bit of Kitchen Nightmares on it, and I didn't get an ad the whole time, so I'm not really sure. But what do you guys think about that? Would you watch a streaming service that's supported by apps since it ads since it is free?
I don't know. I looked at the selection, and I didn't see anything that really jumped out at me. So I was like, well, at least I have it because I have a Fire TV. So, but. I mean, I currently have Hulu with ads. I don't really have any problems with it. It all depends on the movie standpoint. Like, if there's ads during the movie, that would be weird, I would assume, but I don't know.
It could be too early on into it for it, but does it have any exclusives for itself, whether it's like a show?
Yeah, they have their own exclusives.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I was looking through the categories, it was like IMDb, like originals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were they able to partner with anyone where they were able to, like, say Hulu or Netflix doesn't have this show on there? Were they able to get something from them?
Looking at it, it looks like they don't really have like new release movies or shows. All of them are like, a little bit older outside of their IMDb originals, which aren't, from what I can tell, like they aren't like full TV shows. They're more like shorts, like web shorts that you would find on IMDb's website. So they don't have anything big right now. I don't know if this is just like a trial, like a test, that Amazon's doing just to see if anybody would do it. But they do have some interesting movies on there. Like they have Memento, they have Last Action Hero. So they have some good movies on there, but I just can't really see myself, using this service, at least right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. There wasn't anything, like I said, that jumped out at me. I mean, it's free, so it's not a big deal. It's not like a detriment to me, but will I actually frequent it? Probably not. Until somebody says to me, hey, did you check out that thing on IMDb? It's free. Like, okay, I guess I'll look at it. But
since it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically the equivalent. I mean, you pay for your cable, but let's say you already have cable. It's the equivalent of like watching the free movies they have on demand, right? Like there's ads, but, you're already paying for your cable, so.
That's when it comes down to for me. If I don't have like the most up-to-date stuff, like that Hulu and Netflix are getting like day after for TV shows, I'm not going to go to IMDb streaming service that's like a year behind.
Yeah.
even if it is free at that point.
I actually have an interesting thing now that you guys have brought it up. Did you guys see the article that there's a tech company that was at CES that has developed a machine learning algorithm that is supposed to help streaming services find out if you are logging in, like if multiple households are logging into the same Netflix account?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they displayed at CES trying to rope them all in, but it's supposed to be able to help those like companies like stop losing billions of dollars.
But
So
what are they going to
20
do?
people to an account.
Yeah, but like, what would they do? Like, if you sign in, is it kind of like, I know my PlayStation account. If I sign in on another PlayStation, it like deactivates mine. You know what I mean?
One of those things where you can only have so many devices activated under an account.
Yeah, so what the machine learning algorithm does, from what I understand, is it will notice patterns. So, for instance, if you log into your Netflix while you're on vacation, there's going to be a nuance in that where it's like, oh, this person logged in there for like 3 days or something. That's fine. But if like in my situation where somebody who lives in California signs into their Hulu and I sign into their Hulu, that person probably isn't on the same Hulu account. The only thing that I don't get is like, if me and my brother have like an agreement that we're both going to pay for one account, why not? Why get multiple accounts? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely think. I mean, they could probably still get rich off that technology, but I think at least from like a Netflix standpoint, it's like something that like they probably could fix if they wanted to, but they really honestly don't worry about it that much. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if they wanted to fix that, they would have fixed it by now.
Yeah, but I think that the big part is that now they don't have to spend the money to do research and development into actually making it. It's already out there and made. They just buy the out of the box software and just be like, here, just plug it into these things.
That's
and
true.
What really comes down to is like when you're developing machine learning, it's kind of more like, all right, we got to train this model, and if the model isn't right, then a lot of people are going to get broken. And this is like a lot of the reasons why YouTube's like ad algorithm kind of sucks, because it kind of wasn't really fully trained in the right way. So now you kind of have this like bounds that you have to stay in by an algorithm that nobody really understands. So that's like their driving point is like, we have an algorithm that actually works, and then they displayed it, and now potentially these companies will start to implement it. I don't know if Netflix will be the one to do it because they kind of are like the leading one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that today. Yeah, literally today I read the article about it. I figured that was an interesting thing to bring up. So if you're out there and you're stealing Netflix, they're coming and get you. They're coming.
And then speaking of Netflix, a couple trailers came out this past week. First one I wanted to talk about was for a movie called Velvet Buzzsaw. This movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Toni Collette, and it is directed by the director of a movie called Nightcrawler, which came out a few years ago and also starred Jake Gyllenhaal. Did either of you happen to see Nightcrawler?
Is that the one with the blue guy who teleports?
No.
No, that's an
Still
X-Men.
Nightcrawler, but
Yeah.
no.
But you know,
I
it's
actually
Jake.
saw that movie though.
You did, yeah. It's
Yeah, I
really
did.
good. It's very like atmospheric, you know, a thriller. This movie looks like it's kind of following in those footsteps. What did you guys think of the trailer?
I didn't know what was going on for the first half of the trailer. I thought it was just going to be some like somewhat dramatic, artsy movie.
Yeah,
And I
it
took
gave
it
me that
toward
beginning
them.
feel that was like, oh, this is going to be one of those like Ocean's movies where they're like, they're going to steal expensive art, or they're going to make millions of dollars of art. And then it was like, just kidding, it's a fucking horror thing. And you're like, what the fuck? Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, no, I had the same exact reaction, and if anything sold me, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, his acting towards the end of the trailer. He is just, in all of his roles like that, he just gets so into it. So I think that comes out, what's that?
Because he's a creepy guy by just his standards, but just immediately goes into that role.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
I think while I was watching it, the first like thought that came to mind was, once they started doing the creepy shit, I was like, yo, is this Mario 64? The paintings are alive. You got to get through them. You get jumped, you get
You gotta
pulled
jump
in.
in.
It's Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Sounds spooky to me.
That's in the second half of the trailer. He opens his box, pulls all of his overalls.
Oh,
starts
he's
to go into
Luigi?
town. Yeah.
Wow. On the back half of that movie, he's Luigi.
Yeah, the creepiest part to me was the what was it? Robo Hobo Man or something, where he's like a...
Something with a crutch.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
at the beginning he's like a robot, but then it looks like he like comes to life at the end. That really creeped me out.
Yeah, what's really interesting is I don't know if either of you guys have seen Atlanta, but the guy who's the robot looks like one of the characters from one of the episodes of Atlanta. And I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but that's what he looks like. You might know the character. I don't know if you remember, is it the Emmys? Is that the one for TV?
Yeah.
And everybody thought that Donald Glover was dressing up as that character. Do you remember that drama?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Was that the character from the show?
Yeah, there was a character from the show, but they kind of look alike. It was really weird to me.
And then Zach, did you want to talk about the Ted Bundy trailer that came out?
I do. So, actually, we'll save that one for our second part.
Okay.
That under what's coming out for January.
Okay, then that's all I have for movie news. What's going on in the world of gaming, Isaiah?
So, it's finally happening. The great, well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Activision is falling around us. It is raining hellfire around. Blizzard is dying. Activision is dying. And Bungie was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he just peaced out. So they got to keep all of their IP for Destiny, and they're going solo on publishing it. So that is very interesting. After that announcement, Activision stock dipped something like 7% or more. And I was like, oh no. Personally, I love Blizzard games. Overwatch, Heroes of Storm. I never played World of Warcraft, but I could see the appeal. StarCraft and stuff like that. And it's just like watching the company burn. I'm just like, oh man, y'all better get it together. But yeah, so Bungie left Activision, meaning Destiny's either going to get A, really good, or B, really bad. Those are only two options. But in other news, I personally started watching gameplay videos from Anthem, and that shit looks lit, Zach. We're going to play.
I refuse to look at anything for it because I think it's going to be the biggest letdown.
No, dude, no. You can fly.
Is Anthem made by one of those companies?
Anthem is going to be the one thing that goes against Destiny. So there hasn't really been any of these space shooter ordeals, kind of like Destiny, where you're looting and all that kind of stuff. And Anthem is the real adversary to Destiny's setup. The only big problem is that it's getting released by BioWare, and BioWare is owned by EA. So
I feel like we might have talked about this before when we brought up Anthem on E3 last year. But Anthem is
we're going to talk more about it later.
Yeah, but Anthem feels like is what Destiny wanted to be all along.
Yeah.
This huge open world game where you're this mercenary type character, which explains why there's so many of you. The interactive cities, but it just fell short. And unfortunately, I think Anthem's going to do the same thing. It's going to get to that next tier, but it's still going to be disappointing near the end.
And for the Activision and Bungie thing, is there one of those companies that would be considered the parent company of another, or are they both kind of equal and they're going to be splitting and being two equal companies?
So Activision owned Bungie. They got into a 10-year agreement for publishing. I'm pretty sure that Activision is a publisher and then Bungie is a game developer.
Oh, okay.
So they broke their 10-year contract, over the weekend or something along those lines. I think it might have been on Friday. But Blizzard and Activision is one company. It's called Activision Blizzard or Blizzard Activision. I don't know.
It's something weird.
But
So how does Blizzard fit into Bungie splitting off?
So Activision Blizzard is one company.
It's one company. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Blizzard was its own entity before Activision bought it up. So Yeah, so that'll be interesting. We'll get to see how Destiny goes. We'll talk more about Anthem later. Another gaming news, there is going to be a new Call of Duty Zombies mode coming out, which should be this week or next week. I'm not positive. I think it's this week.
I believe it's... Yeah, this was posted on January 9th, and it says next week, so that would be this week. So, I'm not sure if anything else has been announced on this, but have you played Zombies a lot in Black Ops 4, Isaiah?
I have played a decent amount in the last week. I just have never been huge into zombies. I mean, it's like a fun time, but unless you're actually with people who want to do the actual Easter egg hunting and all that kind of stuff, I don't really care for it. But yeah, it'll be nice for those people who do play zombies to have another game mode coming out. But
You gotta keep adding onto the story. That's the main reason why I play zombies, is for those Easter eggs.
It's probably one of those announcements when I log into Call of Duty and immediately dismiss everything that pops up. It's probably in one of those.
yeah, probably. I would say more than likely it's there. But that's it for the gaming verse. Did anything come out creepy and cryptid?
Oh, 2019 is starting off with aliens. So, not too long ago, a telescope in Canada discovered like a pattern of these bursts that they found in space. These fast little radio bursts are also known as like FRBs, and these can happen like hundreds of thousands of times a day. But what's unique about these specific clusters that this telescope in Canada found is that there's repeating signals in a couple of the patches that they were looking at. And these repeating signals seem to be coming from the same source, which they estimated about 1.5 billion light years away.
Interesting.
So what could that mean?
So they're thinking, again, this is two different extremes you can go to. One for extreme is that there's some other living being putting out this radio signal for others to hear, which is why you're able to see that little pattern. Or it can just be, like I said, these things happen hundreds of thousands of times a day. So it could just be a pattern that just happened out of the fluke from like another star system or something else going on too.
So these are pretty common, but this one in particular just had a unusual signal about it that made them think that this was different.
Yeah, like it took it into segments, and they noticed that the repeating pattern was happening over across of these same segments. And I can't remember the exact days that was happening, but it had the exact same pattern.
So do you think it's plausible that it could be aliens?
Yeah. Realistically, it's probably something that's going on naturally in space, but it's the fact that we have technology that can go that far away from us and locate these patterns, it's just bound to eventually happen.
That's true.
I don't know, man. Could be some spooky shit. We sent a car into space. Maybe they turned the radio on. I think that's it. I think that Tesla that Elon threw out there in space, just they left the radio on, and now Canada's just
Canada doesn't know what
Canada doesn't know what it's about.
I want Canada to be the first country to come into contact with aliens.
Yeah, I
Rather
agree.
than the nicest right off the bat.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, what'd you say?
I'd rather have the country of Canada be the first to like interact with aliens.
I thought you said better than ISIS. You know that. And I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, they probably would be.
Isaiah looks so like she like double take. You're like, what'd you say?
And final tidbit of news, we have I'm going to add this part in. This is going to be the Hooligan Radio cast news. I finally watched Haunting of Hill House of Hill House, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
You finished the whole thing?
I finished the whole thing. I didn't cry because I don't cry, but I see how people could cry.
I'm gonna go into spoilers at this point.
Yeah, let's go. Well, real quick. You said it was pretty good. So overall, general thoughts before we go into spoilers. You have anything else to say?
Yeah, before we go into spoilers, all I could think while I was watching it was like, fuck. When you really want to be Theo, but you know you're Steve. That was my whole thing. I was like, I should tweet that shit. But I got rid of social media on my phone, and I never thought of it by the time to my computer.
All right,
But yeah,
so
now we'll
jump,
get into spoilers.
let's jump into spoilers. So what was the craziest thing? What took you off? What shocked you the most?
What the thing that shocked me the most, and which also fucked me up the most, is finding out that she was actually Bent Neck Lady.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I'll watch one more episode before I go to bed. I'll go to bed late so I can watch this episode. And then the last thing I see before trying to go to sleep is just her fucking going through like multiple scenes as Bent Neck Lady, and I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah, that was pretty
crazy. Oh man. And then, dude,
How high did you jump during the car's jump scare?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, so I figured my brain has a tendency to pick up patterns very fucking quickly. And I don't know if I was telling you guys this, but I picked up that in that show, they like to do 1 to 2 seconds of silence before every single jump scare. So as soon as the silence hit, I'm like, oh, there's zero sound coming from my TV. Now's a jump scare.
But weren't they
also
like,
want jump
Zach,
scares
if
that there
you're...
was actually noise going on because it was those two arguing.
Yeah, they were like
Yeah,
arguing.
No, there was still a pause there.
Was it just in music or like pause?
It's in music, yeah. In the actual music. They'll play suspenseful music all the way up. The suspenseful music will cut, and then you get 2 seconds of nothing in the background. Maybe the characters are speaking, and then a jump scare. And it's like, as soon as I figured that out, I was like, okay, well, none of these jump scares are actually going to get me.
Definitely
that part got good.
The craziest part for me was finding out that the red room was actually just a different room for every character. Like for was like the clubhouse, and then it was like the room where Theo like danced in, and a video game room for one of them. That really blew my mind, because throughout the show you see all these different rooms, and you never just put it together of like, how is this house laid out like this? So that really blew my mind at that moment.
Yeah, I also I loved the one thing that the series did really well for me is that it presented things to you right before they were going to answer your questions about it. So like the episode before you actually get to learn about Theo, you see Theo always wearing gloves. And then at the end of that episode, you're like, why the fuck does that bitch wear gloves all the time? And then the next episode, they're like, this is why that bitch wears gloves all the time. You're like, damn it. You know exactly what I'm thinking, Netflix, you crazy monster. Oh, man.
Yeah. Or another moment that blew my mind when, is it Steve that writes the book? And then his dad's like, he talks about the guy with the mustache or whatever, like fixing the clock. And then the dad's like, yeah, that guy never existed. That was a ghost. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude. That was another thing that was like really fucking crazy to me, is that they were like, first of all, they always thought that Luke's friend was imaginary, and I was like, okay, well, she's probably a ghost. Turns out, not a ghost. And then turns out that she was killed by the mom. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh no, that lady's gonna be so mad.
See, that's the part where Alyssa and I just melted at the end when I can't remember the guy's name, brought his dying wife in there.
Yeah, so that they could all be together. Like, I was like, oh man. No way, dude. Yeah. That show's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is. And I guess this can be a good segue here right into See It, Rent It, Stream It.
See it, rent it, stream it. See it, rent it, stream it. See it, rent it, stream it. See it, rent it, stream it.
So, I haven't seen any movies yet in the theater this year, but I did see a movie that I missed. It's actually like a documentary, really. But it's called Three Identical Strangers. And I'm not really going to go into much of the plot because it's so crazy that you have to see it for yourself. But the basic plot is that you have three triplets who were separated at birth, and they find each other when they are 18 years old, just by coincidence, by pure happenstance. And they start, once their families all get together and everything, they start to find out things about how they were separated and why they were separated, and it gets absolutely insane. Like the first half an hour of a movie is just like a feel-good movie of seeing these triplets come back together after never knowing they existed, and everything's all fine and dandy, and then the movie takes a huge turn, the documentary does, and it gets absolutely crazy. So for a documentary, it was one of the best I've seen in quite a while. I would definitely recommend it. Have you guys even heard about anything about this movie at all?
No, I had no idea what it was. I saw it whenever you put it in here, and I was like, nope, I don't even know where to watch
This is the first
that.
time I'm hearing about it.
It's on, I think I might have rented it on Amazon. I'm not sure if it's on Prime or if you can rent it, but that's where I watched it.
Okay, I'll see if I can check it out maybe. But, so I got really lazy, and I was like, I'm going to go see Spider-Verse. And then I was like, I don't want to go in the cold. So I didn't go and see Spider-Verse. But for me, my stream I started this show called You that a lot of people were telling me I should watch. And holy shit, that show is crazy. So the premise is that the main character is a stalker, basically. And he meets this girl at the place that he works, and he basically inserts himself into her life. Like, he stalks her, he sneaks around and finds out where she lives, and eventually he actually gets the opportunity to meet her again, and then the whole show goes from there. It is so good. I'm telling you, I watched the whole thing in one weekend.
Oh my God.
It's a series?
How long is it?
It's 10 episodes, and I think all the episodes are 45, maybe an hour.
It's interesting. Yeah, on Netflix, it says Netflix original. However, it was originally a Lifetime show. This first season was on Lifetime because my girlfriend watched it, and she was telling me about it. And I was like, oh, maybe we can watch it eventually, whatever. And then I guess Lifetime canceled it after this first season, and Netflix bought it. So now it's a Netflix original. Netflix is going to produce the second season.
So
but,
is this the version that Lifetime had, or did Netflix redo the first season?
No, so it is the first season that already aired on Lifetime. But now it's on Netflix. I haven't seen any of it. My girlfriend watched it, but it was just funny because she kept telling me about it. And I'm like, okay, a Lifetime show. I don't know. And then now it's on Netflix and everyone's talking about it.
You always can't trust a Lifetime channel.
I think the problem is just that no one watches Lifetime. They could have amazing stuff on there and nobody would know.
Nobody would know. I would have zero idea.
So I don't even know how she found out about it, to be honest. So, but yeah, I definitely want to give that a watch.
Definitely check it out.
I'll give it a try.
It's pretty crazy. It starts out and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? How's he doing this? And then it turns out to, oh my God, what the fuck? How is he doing this? So yeah, I highly recommend it. I was in our group chat just fucking blowing people up y'all motherfuckers need to watch this because this shit is good. So yeah, definitely check it out. That's I think I even messaged the podcast group chat and was like, what are you guys doing right now? You guys should watch You right now.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely be watching it soon. Got a couple more things I have to watch, and then that's right up there because Haley definitely wants to watch it with me. You guys ready for the main topic?
Let's do it.
And coming in at this point in the podcast, weighing a decent chunk of content, the most anticipated content of 2019. Woo-hoo! All right, you guys. So we're doing the most anticipated video games and movies of 2019. I personally have only prepared the first half of the year because the back half hasn't really been announced on release dates. I'm not positive on if Josh is going to stick to the 6 months or if he's going to go full year.
We 6 months, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm going to do the 6 months. Also, for me, on the movie side, obviously I'm going to talk about games too, but on the movie side, I wanted to challenge myself. So for the movie side, I'm going to be doing mine completely Disney-free. So anything owned by Disney will not be in my list.
You're going to have to let me know.
So we're not going to talk about the Marvel.
You guys can talk about whatever you want. But if I allowed Disney in my list, it would all be Disney. So I'm going to do it completely without Disney for me.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick it off. Let's be real, boys. It's January. People are counting the seconds until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. We can't avoid it any longer. It's also Disney. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's all this.
So Kingdom Hearts 3 is so anticipated right now that they announced that they aren't even putting the ending in the game until the day after it comes out in the United States. They're patching it into the game. Because Japan's getting it early and they don't want anybody to spoil how it ends. So they aren't patching it until the day after the United States gets it, and you'll be able to get the ending then. So that there's less chance of spoilers.
That's pretty crazy. That's a good idea, but that's pretty bold.
It's intense because then, like, if you think about it this way, there's no way the ending can be data mined if they have it as like, and they're contained like in their infrastructure, unless somebody inside the company leaks it. And if somebody in the company leaks it, they will owe millions in repercussions.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't do that. Kingdom Hearts. When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? Like 2004 or something? It's been a crazy long time.
It's at least been a decade.
Yeah, this is the fucking worst part, but also the most interesting part. Every single game released under the name Kingdom Hearts is canon.
So every Game Boy game, like handheld stuff.
The mobile game is canon.
That's ridiculous.
So,
but I mean, go ahead.
So there are people right now who are playing through a lot of games to try to play them all before it comes out. I just can't imagine. I'm going to watch a 30-minute summary of the whole plot, and then I'm going to play the new one, and I'm going to be very thrilled.
24 hours of playing a mobile game.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I'm sure there'll be a YouTube catch-up video I can watch.
They already exist. I watched them.
Yeah. But that's it. That's it for January. That's the big boy.
All right, I got some for January, and this is also going to be going in with the true crime news. So in Netflix, I believe, is going to be releasing a documentary on Ted Bundy, and it's going to cover some of the interviews that he did, actual archive footage, like audio recordings of him speaking, talking about his killings, talking about his life. It's going to be super interesting. I highly recommend seeing it. It's going to be pretty similar to that other one that came out.
Making a Murder?
Making Murder a little bit, I guess.
Well, this guy is a murderer, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Making a Murderer went into like one specific case, where this is more
like a real life version of this is kind of like a real life version of Mindhunter.
To an extent. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this documentary is going to be more about just covering him as a person and like what's going on in his head specifically.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks crazy. Netflix is like top of the game with true crime stuff right now. They're the king right now when it comes to that for sure.
There's also another real good documentary that's been out for a while now called The Staircase, and I would also recommend seeing that one. It's a series.
I've seen half of it. I got to finish the other half.
All right.
But back to 2019.
I've got a bone to pick, okay? So, as some of you might be able to tell, our audio quality is different because Josh is phoning it in from home. I publicly asked this man if I could borrow the movies in the series for this movie that is coming out this month, and he neglected to come to my apartment to bring me those movies. Doesn't Glass come out this weekend?
Are you going to see it this weekend, Isaiah? Is that going to happen?
I thought about it, but not now. I don't know the other two characters in the movie.
Well, weather permitting, I will be there next week, so I will bring them to you. But that was the movie I was going to bring up, was Glass. As Isaiah was alluding to, January, as I've mentioned before in the podcast, is basically like the dumping ground for Hollywood. A bunch of movies that people have no faith in, and then there's always like one or two movies that come out that are okay. So I'm hoping Glass is going to be one of those movies. I just posted a video on my YouTube channel watching Unbreakable the first time and watching Split again. It made me very excited to watch the end, basically, or what I think is the end of this trilogy of movies. Both of you have seen Split, or Isaiah, you haven't seen Split either?
I haven't seen either of them.
I haven't seen Split.
Okay, so all right, well, then we won't talk about it much because I don't want to spoil anything. But I will definitely let you guys borrow those movies if you wish, so you can catch up.
I'm still not convinced that this movie doesn't have anything to do with the X-Men. Just saying, there could be a chance
That Wolverine is seen.
that these are just X-Men and this is prequels to what could be the best X-Men franchise I've ever been able to see.
And then moving on to February for movies, there's a few coming out. Just a couple, not my official pick, but just a couple. Alita: Battle Angel is supposed to be coming out. Happy Death Day 2 U, the sequel to Happy Death Day, and then the third How to Train Your Dragon movie, all coming out in February. But the one that I am really looking forward to is the Lego Movie 2. And I know we talked last time, Zach didn't really like the Lego Movie, so
Just can't, man. The Legos, I can't do it.
Isaiah, have you seen any of the Lego movies?
No.
All right, well,
All I know is that Rob Schraub is a point of knowing about the Lego movies, and I like Rob Schraub because he's a funny guy.
one thing I think looks really funny in this movie from the trailers is Chris Pratt plays the main character in the Lego movie, and they're introducing like a new character, which is basically like a parody of every character Chris Pratt has played. So it's like a parody of like his Jurassic World character and his Star-Lord character. I can't think of the character's name, but if you watch the trailer, that's pretty hilarious. So that's a movie I'm looking forward to in February. What about video games?
Oh, February. Sweet February. So let's get the ones that I'm not really a big fan of out of the way. Crackdown 3 is coming out. If you got an Xbox, you'll probably like it.
You should get it. It's a fun game. Just get it. You can do whatever you want in it.
Yeah, I've heard it's wild. But let's get through the games. We'll talk about Anthem first. Zach kind of talked about Anthem. I am starting to get excited by watching the content. I'm not going to buy it the day it drops, but I'll probably end up getting it anyway on my PC just because I don't have like a grindy loot. They call them loot shooters in the industry. Yeah, but that game is going to be very interesting, and I'm going to have to track it very well so I can find out what's wrong with it and what's with it. What's really going to happen is I'm going to watch 2 YouTube videos and go, you guys are fucking wrong, and then I'm going to buy it. So, other than that, the next game, probably one that I'm more excited for, is Metro Exodus. It's another post-apocalyptic game. They've been talking about it for years at E3s. It looks like it's a game that's post-apocalyptic and it revolves around a train. You should look up a trailer if you haven't seen anything about it. I am fascinated with what it could actually be about. But the one game, and I know that I'm going to buy this game and then I'm going to hate it because Zach's going to be way better than me at it and I'm going to be so mad that I can't get good, is Jump Force, which is a fighting game that is doing a crossover of like a lot of the different series that Shonen Jump puts out. So it's like Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, Naruto.
Clover.
There's Naruto in it. Black Clover, Death Note, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, so a bunch of those like mainstream animes that everybody knows / talks about / memes about, all getting together in one fighting game. And Zach's going to be better than me at it, and I'm going to be so mad that I can't get good.
That game, when it comes out, that's like... What's the one that Yoda and Darth Vader came out with? It was like Soul
Calibur.
Yeah. Like this, I'm ready to just throw myself into this game 100%.
I'm excited to see, because I'm going to guess that they're going to add DLC characters. I'm excited to see who keeps coming.
They have so many possibilities.
There's so many characters in just those franchises we named. And we didn't even name, I'm pretty sure One Piece is in it. And there are... thousands of characters in One Piece that could be
playable characters, not just like characters to throw in. They're like quality characters.
Exactly. And Naruto is like also very full of characters that you could play and would be a good experience.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! You can't do much more with.
Dude, I'm buying Kaiba.
In there,
I would buy Kaiba in a heartbeat.
That's the only person I can imagine with the DLC.
But yeah, so that would be February for gaming.
I'm looking at the character list right now for this game. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be really freaking cool.
Yeah, that was the main one.
I'm gonna weeb out about it. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna
that's the main one you were looking forward to, Zach?
Oh yeah, that was the main one I was just going to talk about for as long as we can. It's going to be so good.
Any movies in February you're looking forward to?
I mean, I really want to see Alita. I do have to give it that.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Death Day 2, I want to just see it because I think it's going to be pretty bad. The first one was decent, but I think the second one's just like, well, let's make some money.
Yeah. So for March, obviously excluding the two big Disney pictures coming out, my pick, this would have been my pick anyway for March, even if I was including Disney personally, Jordan Peele's next film, Us, his follow-up to Get Out, is coming out. Did you guys see the trailer for Us?
I have, I think. I think I might have watched it without sound, though.
So basically, so basically a family basically gets invaded, their home gets invaded by basically weird clones of themselves. If you watch the trailer, I have no clue what's going on, but it looks absolutely insane. And after Get Out, I have absolute excitement for anything Jordan Peele does. So Us is like, for the whole year, Us is higher up there on the list of things I'm definitely excited for when it comes to movies.
Yeah, that is going to be crazy. I actively remember the trailer now, and it looks insane. It's like very spooky.
It's just going to be that psychological horror again. It's going to be beautifully made.
Are you going to see Dumbo, Josh?
Absolutely.
For the sake of this list, I can't comment on it, but yeah, I'm going to see it.
That's another one I just can't do, man. It looks too realistic, and it's just, ugh. Like Dumbo right there looks terrifying.
What about in video games?
Picture of him.
So in video games, there's a few games. This is a kind of a sore topic. It's like hit or miss, but there are a lot of people who loved the first installment of The Division. I think it fell short, personally.
It fell short.
But I had enough people I played it with that made it fun, and I think that's like one of the biggest things about like looter shooters is it's easy to get people to play it because you're not playing PvP. It's not like you need to be good at shooting because you're bringing down the team. It's, hey, if I have to keep reviving you, I'm going to make fun of you forever, but we can stay friends. So the Division 2, it'll have to really impress me via like actually watching people stream. Because you can never trust anything on YouTube with sponsored content and all that kind of stuff. So The Division is going to be one I'm going to track more carefully than Anthem. Anthem's going to get me. I know Anthem's going to get me. But this one might not get me.
I fully agree. The first one came up short. They just talked about like you can just run around in New York City as a whole. They gave you like 6 blocks to be able to go through. The shooting was okay, I guess. The repetitive missions just killed the game, though. The DLCs didn't live up to par either, but if they do need to do anything, they need to rock the socks off the opening day and just create good content.
Yeah. How about the Yoshi title coming out for the Switch? Did you guys play Yoshi's Woolly World? Because I was a fan of that.
I never played Woolly World, but I heard that it was really good, and I've heard that this crafted world is going to be very good also. An earlier guest that we had, Peter, he always tells me about the Nintendo games, and he always gets me hyped up about them. But I'm probably going to get this. My Switch is personally just turning into indie title machine. I just buy indie games on it because I can bring them wherever. So I don't really get a lot of the like big titles, but this one might
except Smash, and then you play Smash.
Yeah. And then whenever I can't beat the things on the indie games, I'll just play Smash and get beaten Smash, and then I'll just play my computer. But that's beside the point. Yeah, so Yoshi's Crafted World, and then these other 2 games are not games that have huge followings because they're first in their actual series. So I'm going to start with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This is for those people who like games like, what's it called? What's that really hard game? Dark Souls. Yes. I guess this is supposed to be like a samurai version of Dark Souls or something like that, where it's like kind of hard to actually beat. I'm pretty sure from the last time that they talked about it. But the other game that I'm kind of really excited for is Left Alive. So Left Alive is a game that is it's going to start to fill that void that Metal Gear Solid has kind of lost, where it looks like Metal Gear Solid. And the whole premise is looks like the main character is fighting in the future against like huge mechs. And I'm not sure if you're in a mech or if you just fight these crazy automated robots or whatever. But yeah, it looks like it has that kind of Metal Gear Solid feel to it that Hideo Kojima left whenever he left whatever he was in before, Konami.
Yeah.
So Left Alive is the one that's kind of flying under the radar right now with all the other big games. But yeah, definitely check that one out. What about for you, Zach? You got anything coming in March other than your birthday?
Nothing other than what we really brought up.
All right. Do you have anything coming in April?
I do. One game that we actually already talked about is the new Mortal Kombat. It's coming out in April.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get that game and also be very bad at it. I'm very bad
I'll
at
also
games.
join you in that. That's one funny game I've never been able to get.
I've always been more of a Street Fighter person. I've always seen Mortal Kombat as more of just like a straight up like a button smasher, but that's probably just because I have no clue what I'm doing. Like all the combinations just were way too difficult for me.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I love it because once you figure out one of the combinations, you just spam that shit and it's so good.
Yeah.
Like Get Over Here, the first time I learned how to use Get Over Here, nobody wanted to play with me anymore because I would just only do that and it was
Yeah, you learn like 4 solid moves you need to know, and then you're set.
That's it. You're good. You just use those 4 in a row every time.
And if you have a player that has a range attack, it's done.
Yep.
Isaiah, what system do you think you'll be getting that on?
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mine's gonna have to be a console.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that.
I don't think
on
it
PC.
comes. I don't think it's coming out on PC, but it might. I don't know.
Yeah, it says all
It is
4
PC.
right here.
Mhm.
I'll probably get it on Switch.
I mean, I'm in a mode now where I see no reason to buy any game on the PS4 if it also comes out for the Switch. I'm just going to get it for the Switch because I love playing it so much.
Exactly how it goes, because then I can bring it places and play against people with my own Switch, and it's like I don't have to worry about save files and all that kind of shit. But yeah,
You can do the same with the PS4. Just bring your box.
yeah, not gonna do that though.
Understandable.
And then I guess we'll go to the other game that's coming, allegedly, and I want to trust them, is Days Gone. You remember Days Gone?
That's a crazy zombie game.
Yeah, that's like the hordes of zombie game. Yeah.
We'll actually see if it comes out that month, though.
Yeah, we've been thinking about Days Gone for a long time, and I think it's been delayed quite a few times. But it looks crazy. PlayStation exclusive. The hordes of the zombies are like
Hordes, truly
immensely
hordes.
huge. It's going to be crazy. If it actually comes out in April, I don't know, man. That's going to be brutal. It's going to be a good one.
They're going to be working the developers to the bone to get that out in April.
They've been working on it for like 3 years.
Yeah,
4 years.
And they keep pushing it back more and more. I don't think it's near complete.
I think it's complete. I think that they've been trying to just tweak it to get it perfect. I want to have faith.
Josh,
what comes out in
some
April?
movies that you have that month?
Well, April isn't very full of stuff because there's a certain Disney release coming out that's going to make billions of dollars.
Can
April
Isaiah
is
talk about that one at least?
yeah, you can.
We can't talk about
We can't talk about. Go see Captain Marvel in April. It's going to be great.
No way. Captain Marvel comes in March.
Captain Marvel is in March.
Damn it. You talking about Shazam then?
Yeah, we're talking
No.
about Shazam, Zach.
What
I'm
is
talking
the
about
biggest
Shazam.
movie? What's the biggest movie of the year? What?
It's Shazam, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, Shazam does actually look pretty good. But no, I am actually talking about a movie that, again, just like that game, Isaiah, keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and that's Under the Silver Lake. That's right now supposed to come out April 19th. Don't know if it's actually going to, but if it does, I'll be very excited to finally see it, because I've been waiting almost a year at this point to see Under the Silver Lake. So that's my non-Disney pick for April.
If it doesn't come out the 19th, we should all go see The Curse of La Llorona. It
comes out on the 19th. That's what it is. Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about if Under the Silver Lake
if
doesn't
Silver
come out?
Lake doesn't come out the same day and it gets pushed back for whatever reason, we should go see this. It's from the same creator of The Conjuring and it's supposed to be terrifying.
I don't think I've heard anything about this.
Really?
Oh yeah, produced by James Wan. You know what? I did see a trailer for this when it first came out quite a while ago, and I haven't heard anything since. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you got James Wan. I'm already in. So
Yeah.
then again, I haven't seen Aquaman, so I guess I'm lying.
You'll see it one day. You're not going to be a liar.
Yeah, but for you guys, since I'm not going to talk about it, you guys excited for Endgame?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't say that you're not.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's all that really needs to be said.
I think I'm gonna attempt to get a ticket to see it the Thursday.
Are you really?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I can't.
I have to, because if I don't see it on the Thursday, it'll be spoiled by the time I wake up on
Zach,
Friday.
you know the showing started at like 7 p.m., right?
Yeah, they start showing it at 7 p.m. on Thursday.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I miss the old days when it was like midnight.
When midnight releases actually happened at midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
For movies and games.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They wanted more money.
It's to the point where it's like,
it's a full day ad.
I might have to take Friday off and just be overwhelmed by the movie.
You should just go see it that many times.
Yeah, like there'll be any open tickets on Thursday, Friday.
Friday morning? I bet you can easily get it.
No way. No way, dude. There's going to be so many people who take off work for it. Whatever. I'm over talking about it.
All right, Zach, what are you excited for in May?
What am I not excited for in May? Should I start with video games, movies?
Whatever you want, man.
All right, so I'll just go with video games first, and that's going to start with Rage 2 coming out.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Rage 2. Rage 2 is going to be the first installment in this world where like everybody's doing post-apocalyptic but with neon color palette, and I think Rage 2 is going to be the only one who actually does it well, and it's not just a skin over an old game.
Yeah.
So that game will be so sick. But what else, Zach?
Going over to movies.
You're looking forward to the Minecraft movie.
Stop.
You could tell us, man. I know how much you love Minecraft.
I hate to break the news, but the director fell off. What's his name?
A cliff?
The guy from Always Sunny, Mac. He was attached to this movie and he left. So that movie's not coming out in May. I'm sorry, Zach.
You're not going to be able to see the Minecraft movie.
So
but also, if Mac was in it, I would go and see it.
I would see it solely for Mac. But I'm excited for Godzilla coming out near the end of May.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I feel like that's the big movie in May. Another one that I would throw in there is they're making another John Wick movie. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, John Wick was my pick for May, even over Detective Pikachu, which I'm very excited for. But John Wick Chapter 1 and 2 are some of the best action movies of this decade. So John Wick Chapter 3 is high up there for the year on my list for what I'm excited for.
So, are you excited for Aladdin, even though you're not allowed to talk about it?
I'm actually not. I've never been that into it. So, John Wick would have still been my pick, even if I was allowed to pick. I mean, I'm sure I'll see Aladdin, but it is what it is. Will Smith looks weird as the genie. I don't know if I'm into it.
I think my problem right now is all I can think about is how I want Detective Pikachu to be voiced by Danny DeVito, and it's not happening.
That's literally what everyone.
I want it to be played by Danny DeVito. Like
everyone I brought it up to has said that.
Yeah, there was like a petition to get Danny DeVito as the voice actor for Detective.
I wouldn't be able to take it. I couldn't take it.
So happy. I love Danny DeVito.
They're also making another Shaun like that clip. Do you remember I can't remember the first one, but a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon's like that old clay school art with the sheep. I can't remember the old school movie with it, but they're making that again. I'm pretty pumped for it.
No way. No way.
Real quick, also wanted to mention Brightburn is a movie from James Gunn, the guy who was fired from Guardians. Brightburn is basically, you can watch the trailer if you look it up, basically the story of Superman, but what if Superman was evil? So a kid that comes from outer space, lands on Earth, has superpowers, but ends up being like a monster. Trailer looks pretty cool, so I'm a little bit excited for that one too.
I'm also excited for Rocket Man, the movie that's going to be about Elton John.
Absolutely, yeah.
but it's definitely not going to beat Godzilla. So maybe I'll see it, but I probably won't. What about June? I think that's the last month that games. Yeah, last month of games. Crash Team Racing. That's the only game that's coming out, but I'm so pumped.
That's it. That's the only game.
Yeah, it's the only game. Nobody cares about all the other games. I couldn't even tell you what the other games are. But Crash Team Racing is going to be
I'm obviously going to buy it.
Good. It's going to be so
I'm obviously
good.
buy it.
Video games have this awful thing of, especially in the beginning of the year, a lot of the later year, nothing's announced. So they have a lot of 2019 games being released, but no set date.
Yeah, and we'll get more of that information at E3. That's why.
Real quick, dipping. I know we're stopping at June here, but dipping into August real quick. Fucking Shenmue 3? Like, are you kidding me? Am I the only one who played Shenmue as a kid? Like, what the hell? Shenmue 3? Is this like a real thing? I'm so confused.
Yeah, dude.
They're making another Wolfenstein game.
What?
They're making another Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, I think it's the last in the trilogy.
Is it really?
I think. I'm not sure.
They're coming out with another Star Wars game?
Yeah, these are all things we'll figure out whenever they actually get announced dates, which will probably be around E3. But we might get them before then. But what about movies? What do we got in June?
So, June's kind of an empty month for movies, at least for me, what I'm interested in. X-Men Dark Phoenix, we'll see if it even comes out. Men in Black, they're rebooting it with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, which looks funny, but I've never been super into Men in Black. They're making a reboot of Chucky with a new Child's Play. There's a big Disney release that month, which I won't name. And so the only one on here that I'm really interested in, and I don't even know if it's actually coming out, is this movie called All You Need Is Love. There's not a ton of info about it, so I don't know if it's actually going to come out this year. But the plot just says a struggling musician realizes he's the only person on Earth who can remember the Beatles. So that sounds like an awesome premise.
That's crazy.
And it stars...
I would just rewrite all of the Beatles songs and become a god.
I mean, that's the obvious answer, right? But stars Kate McKinnon, Lily James, so it's a good cast, but I don't know if that's even coming out or not. But overall, I mean, Men in Black is probably the big one for that month. What do you guys think from looking at it?
Probably Secret Life of Pets 2.
I was about to say, that's not a Disney movie. I did not like the first one.
Oh, well, you can fuck
it's
right
the
off. That shit was the worst.
And I love pets. Like,
it's the worst
if I see
animation
a pet, I
studio in
have to
Hollywood.
pet it. But, man, that movie wasn't good.
It's made by Illumination, who have never made a good movie.
The Illuminati?
Yes.
Made by the Illuminati? Yeah, I'm going to have to go with. There's not a lot coming, and I know that what he really wants us to talk about is Toy Story. And I don't know. It's going to be good.
What's the
Never
point?
seen the
They
third.
ended it. They ended the trilogy. What's the point of the fourth one? I'm actually kind of like confused. Like, is there a point?
I've never seen the third.
Is the third one the one with the pink bear?
It has to be, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. That was alright.
It's one of the perfect trilogies. All the three movies are good. Now they're gonna ruin it with this four. I'm being too negative. It's probably gonna be really good. Whatever.
They're gonna ruin it. Fuck them.
So that's it. That's the first year. First half.
That's the
of the
first
year.
half of the year. Catch me playing Anthem, probably, because I'm the worst. But first, before that.
Oh, probably, yeah. What?
Before that. No spoilers on Kingdom Hearts. If you tweet spoilers at us in Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to cry on the next episode.
We will personally
two
call
episodes
you out.
from now. I think it's 2 episodes from now. Kingdom Hearts will be out. So, yeah.
But
Don't do that.
But do let us know what games and movies you're excited for. Ones we named, ones we didn't name. Let us know what you guys are going to do this year, because we love you guys and we want to know.
I'm hoping that we get Battletoads in the first half of the year. But that's just a fever dream. We would like to thank American Spirits for the use of their song Blanket Forts at the beginning and end of our episodes.
And thanks to Surgerberger for the See It Rent It Stream It theme, which we did this week, so it'll be in here.
And then you can find us at Hooligan Radio. At at hooligan_radio on Twitter, hooligan.radio on Instagram. On YouTube, you can just find us by typing in our name. There you can find some little short clips of the topics that we bring up on every episode.
It's a bold claim. That means Zach's going to make the clips.
They will be up. They will be up.
You can find me at PHP_Islaya. The rest of the guys, don't look for him. I'm the cool one. Nah, you can find Zach at Zach C and I know it.
I know it.
Underscore I know it.
Instagram, hopefully we made by next week.
This guy's lying. And then Josh, where can they find you in the world?
Joshua Singh _ on Twitter and Instagram, and check out on my YouTube channel. I already mentioned it. Did a video for Unbreakable and Split. Also doing a Rocky series. My video for Rocky 5 and 6 will be up soon. Rocky 5, guys, you probably have never seen it, and my advice is never do see it. So I'll be posting a video about that soon. I'm also starting a Pokemon series soon to lead up to Detective Pikachu. So we'll see how that goes.
You're gonna watch every episode of Pokemon? Everyone?
No, it's going to be focused on the movie. So I'm going to be watching a lot of the movies.
For 2000.
I love
You're
Pokemon
welcome.
2000.
It's so good.
You're welcome over my house.
We got that on video.
We're going right now.